Chicago. Now, look at here. When I 1 and 1 is 2, when I'm 2 and 2, that's 4. Now where I get my loving, mama, you might never know. Say, hey, and baby, don't you wanna go? All right, back to that same old sweet home Chicago.
Hello, Silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. Russ, hey, thanks for having me back to your shop here. It's quite an honor.
Always, T.
Now, numismatics, I know that is your forte. What kind of cool stuff you got in your shop today, man?
One of my real big projects here, and one of the things that I'm really passionate about is education and educating the public and all that kind of stuff. When I came in, I took over our collection of counterfeits that have come in. And those
every coin shop has a box full of counterfeits.
We bought probably $200-300 silver dollars, and we're handling them one-on-one and stacking them, and we're buying them by the grade and condition. But then later, when we were clearing off the counters, one struck my attention because of the sound. It completely sounded wrong, and I knew it was bad right when I saw it. So I put it aside, went back and looked at it, and you're right. They made it look as if it had been around for 100+ years. It happened to be a peace dollar, but we keep those things, I wouldn't say as trophies, reminders of we call it the box of shame, like shame on us, so we bought it, so yeah. But we try to keep that box as light as possible.
I hear you.
Overhead. This is an example of things that people have unfortunately bought. They got them online and they probably thought they were getting a really, really great deal.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yes, and we have a lot.
Okay.
I've pared down a lot of it to the good stuff that is interesting or really educational. So they kind of come in two flavors. The one flavor that is really great for education is a lot of the stuff that's been produced to deceive collectors. So I have a lot of like 09S VDB fakes, 16D Merc fakes, things like that. And then the other piece of that is something that I recently got into myself collecting wise, which is contemporary counterfeits.
Okay.
A contemporary counterfeit is a coin that was struck or made contemporary to the time. So it was actually used to fool people in that time. So it was a true counterfeit, like counterfeiting a $100 bill today.
Okay.
And those are actually incredibly collectible. It's a new kind of thing coming out. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you mean, like quarters from the 1950s, or
there are some of those
people would have spent?
Yeah. So probably the most famous example would be like the Henning nickel. And this guy just made batches and batches of nickels, and he was able to spend them, and you can still find some even in circulation today.
Out of his house?
Out of his house, yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of the stuff that's really popular right now are contemporary counterfeits from the 1800s.
Okay.
So that includes a lot of stuff like bust half dollars, even gold pieces.
Okay, so something somebody would have walked into a saloon with and flicked up on the countertop.
Exactly. I mean, you take in a 50-cent piece and you buy a 5-cent drink, and hopefully you get 45 cents back in good money. Was kind of the thought behind it. But what's even more interesting about contemporary counterfeits is the good ones are struck from handmade dies.
Okay.
So basically, you had to have an artist who would be able to engrave a die and actually make it look halfway decent, like a real U.S. coin.
Okay. Back in those days.
But yeah, exactly.
100 years ago.
Yes. There's no computers. There's no assisted with it. It's all done by hand, and some of them are really spectacular and really well done.
Okay.
And some of them aren't.
Okay.
But they're all really interesting.
And so that is becoming something that's collectible.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always
kind of like the hobo nickels, just something.
Yeah, there's always been a small kind of niche community for it, but a friend of mine, Winston Zach, wrote a book called Bad Metal about 2 years ago, and that is his passion, is contemporary counterfeits.
Okay.
And he has started cataloging so many of them that it's starting to gain a little bit more popularity. For a long time, it wasn't really. It was kind of kept in the dark in the hobby because it was what do you do with these things?
Yeah.
They're fake. You can't really sell them to the general public because then you're going to get into all kinds of trouble of, you're selling me a fake coin,
Right.
but I know it's a fake coin too. So it's something that's taking off a little bit more. There's a lot more interest in it because it really is part of just the history of numismatics in America, because a lot of these coins were created at a time where there was no small change.
Okay.
People were hoarding their coins.
Okay.
Especially like during the 1830s, during the hard times, during the Civil War, things like that.
Okay.
And so there really are stories of these coins being used and accepted, even though people knew they were fake because
Really?
there was nothing else to use.
So, people hearing this and who haven't been educated about this new area of collecting, 10 years from now it might be totally mainstream and just like a whole nother, you might have a whole case full of these things, but for right now people could be getting in ahead of the curve if this sounds like something they're interested in and they get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not a terribly expensive thing to get into. There are some really expensive ones just like everything else, but I mean, there are stuff that can be had for as little as 25, 30, 50 bucks.
Okay.
And there's just such a wide variety in it. It really does run the gambit from just brilliant pieces that are really good and just really, really ugly ones.
Now, some of these forgers would probably be rolling in their graves to find out that the stuff that they made to fool people is going for a chunk of change nowadays, 100 years later.
Probably would.
Well, I can't wait to see some of that. What do you have first there?
Yeah. So right now, let's see. So a really, really popular subject for contemporary counterfeits were bust half dollars.
Okay.
So I've got a couple. So this is actually a matched pair. They came from the same dies, and they're made out of a composition of like German silver, which is a lot of nickel, things like that. There's no real silver in it.
Okay, let me take a look at those. And as you mentioned, a pair of busts here. A couple of my less mature viewers might get a giggle out of that one. But you know what I'll do is I will definitely, I think the format would be easier just to show the photos.
Yeah, I'll get you some pictures.
Yeah.
So those are actually pretty decent ones, and then I have stuff like this that is far less than good. Maybe in a smoky saloon right before the Civil War, it might fool somebody, but looking at it,
What is it?
So this is an 1836 bust half dollar, and it's also made out of German silver, which is a composition of zinc, nickel, and copper. So then I've actually got a couple really neat gold pieces. So it's a lot trickier to pass off gold than it would have been, a half dollar, because that's some real spending money, especially, in the 1840s through the 1860s. Probably one of my favorite ones, though, is this one here, and it's a fake $3. And it's kind of made of that same German silver. It's an 1855 $3 piece. And basically what they would do is they would plate it or they would gilt it. And this one has had all of its gilting rubbed off.
What is gilting?
So gilting is just another process to basically make it look gold. It's like a wash, essentially.
Okay.
This is a 1851 $2.50 struck out of brass. So again, it's not something that would really hold up to a discerning eye, but maybe you have the opportunity to pass it.
Especially if you're passing it with other coins, it's in a lot of 8 coins and.
Exactly, and that was a lot of what counterfeiters would try to do. They would mix in 1 or 2 with, maybe a dozen or half a dozen, and try to, pass whatever they could. There's also things like, so these are die-struck counterfeits. So these are, made from handmade dies. But there's also a lot of cast counterfeits, which are very, very crude. But they serve the same purpose. They're just not as valuable to a collector because I can churn out cast count. You can churn out cast counterfeits basically, in no time at all. These took actual workmanship and real skill to make, which is what makes them really interesting.
Are these part of your personal collection, or are these for sale in the shop, or do you have any?
I don't sell contemporary counterfeits out of the shop.
Okay.
It's still a little risky. I keep this stuff more for education, and it's a big piece of numismatic history that I think hasn't been explored a whole lot in the mainstream. So I really love showing them off. When people come in that are numismatic minded, explaining a little bit. Kids love them. So it's just a really neat piece that I keep kind of in our archives.
Okay, cool. All right. That is quite the education, and I appreciate you not only educating me, but my viewers as well. And I certainly appreciate the time. The shop has happened. People, it's just been a steady stream, man. Is it like this all the time?
Generally it can be. Fridays are usually a little bit better. As soon as the weather turns any bit nice and people are actually downtown, it starts getting popping a little bit.
Yeah, the sun's shining, people are out and about on the street, and they're certainly stopping in here, that's
They sure
for sure. Have you guys gotten any crazy antique stuff lately? I know last time I was here you showed me some stuff that blew me away.
So not particularly. We're in the middle of our bid buy sale, which is what we're known for.
Okay.
And that has all of our antiquities and a lot of our ancient stuff upstairs. We did recently purchase an Eidmar denarius, which is one of the classical rarities of Roman numismatics. It's a very interesting piece. I'm sure that there will be a press release fairly soon about more of it.
Okay.
But we've sold a few of them before. That's one of the things we're really known for, of course, here is our ancient department. But right now, everybody's in Baltimore because it's the Whitman Expo.
That's right.
And so all of our good stuff is back east, hopefully making some money for us.
My new buddy, Brian Kuzmar from Lauderdale by the Sea, is there right now. And he is a coin dealer since 1977.
Okay.
His dad actually started that coin show back in the day, and he's there enjoying it right now. So it sounds like things are going very well over there. His report that I just saw this morning is that the place was crowded and lots of buyers.
Yes, it seems like that we're finally getting back to some bit of normalcy, and shows are actually happening again. And people are actually willing to, one, travel, but two, actually spend money on coins again.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to see because, for 2 years we didn't have shows. So now, things are actually happening again.
How about Chicago? What's the biggest show in Chicago?
Okay.
Is there a regular one that comes around once a year or twice a year? I've been to the Tinley Park show lots of times, and that's a nice show.
Yeah, so basically for this area, if you're looking for a large show, it's always Central States.
Okay.
Central States is here this year in Schaumburg.
Okay.
And the Central State show is one of the biggest shows in the entire country.
Oh, really? Okay.
It really is. It's a great show.
What time of the year is that?
So that's actually coming up. That's at the end of this month, the last weekend in April.
Okay. Wow.
So that's a great show. I really encourage anybody that can get there to get there. It's really great. And then we have the ANA again in Rosemont this year in August.
That's the one I've heard of. Yes.
Yeah. So
and they always bring in some marquee stuff.
Yes. You will see tremendous things. This year at Central States, Heritage is doing the signature auction.
Are you guys going to that? Anybody from the shop? Are you going to be there?
Yeah, so I'll be at Central States for at least a day. We will have a table there, but that's going to be geared more towards our ancient department.
Okay.
We will have, some people on the ground. I'm sure that I'll be running around trying to see what I can fill for my own personal collection and seeing if there's anything that I can buy for the shop. Same with the ANA this summer. We'll be there as well. We're actually also doing we're doing some local shows in Northwest Indiana. So I'll be doing a show here at the end of April as well.
Okay.
I'll be there with a lot of our inventory. We're really trying to kind of expand and get get back out there now that everybody's actually open again.
Okay, wow. What's the one in Northwest Indiana?
So it'll be in Crown Point.
Okay.
It is the Goodfellow Show
Oh, at St. Matthias Church?
at St. Matthias Church
Okay.
on April 27th.
All right, I'll put the details in the video description. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do some shopping. You've got a ton of customers here. I'm going to let you get back to business, but I'm going to find something here, and that's going to be a lot of fun looking around. So thanks for the time, Russ. I really appreciate it, and to your coworkers as well that have kind of had to put up with my setup here. I appreciate it very much as well.
Absolutely, Tiki.
All right, buddy. Hey guys, special shout out to my channel members, and thank all of you for watching to this point in the video. Really appreciate your support. And now it's time to show you what I got. Hey, from National Refining Systems, a 10-ounce vintage bar, $340. That works out to 34 bucks an ounce. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're really going to love this next one that I have queued up for you right now.